Good morning, everyone. Can you hear there?
Good morning, Khenpo. Yes, we can hear. Can you hear us?
Yes.
Perfect. Everyone's very quiet, waiting for teachings.
Wonderful. That's our Oh, Mother Saint Jimbe,
Thanks.
those enemies who hate me, obstructors, those great obstacles of my the liberation of nations. May they experience happiness, be separate from suffering decisively. I will establish them in the state of unsurpassed, perfect, complete, precious Buddhahood. Oh, Mother Sentient beings, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those great obstacles on my path to liberation and nation. May they experience happiness, be separate from suffering decisively. I will establish them in the state of unsurpassed, perfect, complete, precious Buddhahood. Oh, Mother Sentient beings, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those great obstacles on my path to liberation and damnation. May they experience happiness, be separate from suffering decisively. I will establish them in the state of unsurpassed, perfect, complete, precious Buddhahood. Dala, don't worry, Tarpa dan tamje jimba la barda ju bara zeba damje je zor zebe ma nam ka dan yambe zimjin damje dewa dan de dungara da da nyor de la na me ba yang da bara zobe zan jo rumbo je do bara za thus unto achieve enlightenment, perform virtuous deeds with the body, speech, and mind. Under death, I perform virtuous deeds with the body, speech, and mind. From now under this time tomorrow, I perform virtuous deeds with the body, speech, and the mind. We take refuge in the Kandaru Lama and the lineage Lamas. We take refuge in the deity of the Mandalas Yadam. We take refuge in all the exalted Buddhas. We take refuge in the perfect Dharma. We take refuge in the excellent order of the Sanghas. We take refuge in all the noble Dhakas, Dakinis, and the Dhammakadins, possessors of the eye of wisdom. Until I attain the heart of enlightenment, I take refuge in all the Buddhas. I take refuge in the Dharma, and likewise in the example of Bodhisattvas. As previous Buddhas embraced enlightenment and the progress on the Bodhisattva's path, are true for the benefit of all sentient beings, giving birth to bodhicitta, and apply myself to accomplish this stage of the path. In the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha most excellent, I take refuge until enlightenment is reached. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. May all mother sentient beings, boundless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering, the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. I bow down respectfully with my body, speech, and faithful mind toward Tathangatas in the 10 directions. Those have already reached the Tathagata state, those who are reaching it at the present, and those Tathagata state to come. Through the power of Samatha Buddha's prayers, may all Buddhas manifest vividly in my mind. I posted to them, multiplying my body as many times as the atoms of the earth. In each atom, I visualize as many Buddhas as their atoms, surrounded by countless Bodhisattvas. Thus, all space filled with Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. I praise all Buddhas through the manifesting chanting expressing the great ocean of the excellent quality. To all Buddhas, I make offerings of arrows, pure flowers, flower garlands of music, anointing oils, manifesting light, and fragrant incense. I make offering to the fine garment and the perfume and the purple, pour the highest moon and orange the most beautiful way. I visualize the highest and most extensive offerings and offer them with great faith to all Buddhas. I posted to Buddhas and make offering to them following the deeds of great Bodhisattva Sammadabhara. I confess to you, Buddhas, whatever negative actions I have committed due to the power of anger, desire, and ignorance. I rejoice in the merit of all the Buddhas and the 10 generations of great Bodhisattva and the Pacceka Buddhas. Those have attained Aharashya, those have entered the path of Aharashya and other beings. Because to all great protectors and the Buddhas to turn the highest way of Dharma as the light dispelling the darkness of beings in the 10 directions, leading them gradually to enlightened states. As obligated those Buddhas intending passing to Parinavana, to living long as many aeons, as they are thrones over the earth in order to benefit all beings. Whatever merit I have gathered through postations, offerings, confession, rejoicing, beseeching, and praying, for the sake of enlightenment or sentient beings, all these are dedicated. The crown is sprinkling with the scented water, and strewn with the flowers. It is adorned with the mirror, the spring mountain, the four continents, the sun and the moon. As Buddha I offer it to the Lama who possess the Trikayas. I offer the altar in the sacred offerings with my body, worth, and all that is visible. Please grant me the supreme realization and enlightenment. Om Guru Rina Mendala Benza Manga Samandra Savarana Samaya Ahom. I call for you, O name of the world. Your fame provides the 3,000 words. You are the victor warrior Dara dropped. I bow at the feet of Father Jigni Songo. Continually I think of no one but you. Compassionate one, grant your blessings. Despair darkness that surrounds my heart. Please bless me so that I can realize the unlimited nature of the mind. Please stand aware of the Dharma of the two vehicles and their combination according to disposition and likewise mental capacity of sentient beings. His wisdom is brilliant like the sun, free of the clouds of two worlds, the perceived various steps of knowledge in the true nature. For this reason, he holds the wisdom text at his heart. He has a compassion for all beings who suffering from the darkness of ignorance and the prison of samsara, as the Father for only Son. Like a thunderclaps, he awakens those who are sleeping in ignorance and losing the chan of karma through the 60 branch of Haramane speech. He wears this wisdom sword to cut the settling of suffering and to dispel darkness of confusion. And the Bodhisattva form, he is pure from beginningless time, fully accomplished in the 10 levels, and perfect in the body of all knowledge. I supplicate you, Majesty, adorned by the 112 Son of Buddha, to dispel darkness of my ignorance. Om Arabazana de 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 Om Arabazana. Arabazana de Om 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 Arabazana. Bazana de Om Arabazana 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 de Om Arabazana. Om Arabazana de 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 Om Arabazana. No Arabazana de Om Wange Shoremo 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 Wange Shoremo. Om Wange Shoremo Wange Shoremo Wange Shoremo. You who are the perfect beautiful body, whose flame of wisdom blesses and dispel the darkness of orderly ignorance, I prostrate before you and praise you, Manjeshiri, Yonegelen Changwa Yeshe Dom Erab the Bar, Jeden the Moment Sarwa, Jambar Yang La Sanzar Du. Tamge doje yaje rezen rong yin me do de je bon jom ba zer je lombo do re ji be kyo je ja re ya la ge za ze dorje janchen de lo naro dhamma pa mala jije gambo pamo dripa jarwa digong be gajo lama nam la zorwa de me jije yenje bodane de lom zanje genje ngo Rang sen je ge ngon zong dong ze be da we lama nam la zorwan de. Good morning, afternoon, evening, everyone. Welcome to Nagarjuna teaching. Today is verses 71. So we finished the verses until 70 and now starting verses 71. This section is always talk about the 6 realm sufferings. So usually in the teaching, very short instructions about 6 realms sufferings. In here right now, these sections, so Nagarjuna more explain about these 6 realms. So then you can see the many other instructions talk about these 6 realms. This 6 realm, the kind of root text more, come from root text is this letter. Nagarjuna sent a letter to his friend. So based on this, then many masters create more and more extensively, explain about the 6 realms. This kind of more root text. Actually, this letter to his friend Nagarjuna wrote this. Every verses is a very important sections. Many masters, when they compose different teachings, they take from in part of these sections, explain. So now, right now we are in the 71. 71, and yesterday also this section is talking about the harem suffering. So this harem beings suffering is, like God's realm beings falling to the harem sufferings. In the samsara is no, how to say, not really, make sense anything, because it's kind of a roller coaster, so upside down lots all the time. And that's why Nagarjuna yesterday he mentioned, our fathers can be sons, sons can be father, mothers can be daughter, daughters can be mothers. So all the, change, all the time change everything. And our enemies like future, maybe best friends have become, is, our enemies. And one of the arhats, his name is Katayana. So he went to bake the food, and he saw the mother, hold the baby. And so then he's seeing through his clairvoyance, the dog was there, and she eating the meat, and she holding the baby. His dog is, maybe begging the like bones to something eat from, she give it to her, the dog. So dog is begging that. And then Kadayana, he's due to his clairvoyance, he recognized. So she eat meat is a father, when her father passed away, take birth to animal or fish, I don't know. So whatever she eating is recognize Katayana, father's reincarnation, something animal's body she eating. He says, Pashasa means like he say, you eating the father's flesh. Maladang means like, you eating to the mother. So mother is take birth to draw. So she draw begging or wanting something from her. So she kicked out of the door, and then Kadayana recognized door is her mother's reincarnation. Pasha Sashi Maladang, Lengi Dao upon the zone means like is she holding the baby in her lap, and then Kadayana see that is her family's enemy, it's a reincarnation. So then his courage Kemodo is like, oh, this samsara is ridiculous, laughable, or this play in the beings in the samsara. So changing. That's the story. What we have to learn that, and we cannot fixation attached to too much loved ones. Cannot hatred to others, because everything is changing all the time. And right now, our loved ones can be enemies previous lifetime. And right now, our enemies like used to maybe our friends, best friends, or loved ones, or parents. So that's all the time changing. Then this, there no any like kind of truly permanently fix that anything. It's all the time changing. So knowing that, then we can bring, everyone is called one, or equanimity, oneness, equanimity. Less attached, less hatred to someone, so like just bring to equal, reduce attachment, reduce anger. So the long as we reduce anger and attachment, we're not going to take birth, in this lower realm sufferings. So now today, here the verses 71 is, for years you might have stayed on Meru's arrest, delighting as it yielded underfoot. So years means like many years, like we maybe take birth to very high realms and lots of desired joyful things. Everything is like, easy and less suffering, more joyful, and highest level in the samsara, and stayed a long time, and then falling to here, but think no of the torment that were striker, and then thinking that this right now this beings also in the hell realm beings also used to have that good conditions, good like this opportunity, but this time in the hell realm beings, extremely suffering to wide through glowing coarse and rotter flesh. So used to like where you put feet is become extremely, become delighted as it is heard at underfoot, like it's delighted and soft or peaceful and joyful. But no, this means when finish good karma, falling to again in these harems or each footstep, then is wide through glowing, coarse, and rotting flesh can take birth to in that kind of place, suffering. Here, Nagarjuna mentioned many about the harem sufferings. This harem suffering is within our also human beings. Many people has this get torture, suffering. And many animals get through these sufferings. So even our ability, we cannot see exactly her realm. The realm is we cannot see, but within the human being realm, we can see. And within the animal realm, we know they all has this suffering. So rotating flesh. Then due to any diversity beings, diversity perception. So that's why, this diversity beings has this sufferings. Example, fishes you take out from the water, put in the hot sand. Then there has exactly this, wide, true, glowing core and rotting flesh suffering. So the main point is like another level we can have lots joyful, happy, desire things, pleasant, pleasure things. But then another harems coming to opposite, or this like pleasure, everything what we have is become arising to this, so other way and extremely, causes of suffering. So that's also another level perceptions. Human being, we go to like Mahayana level, talk about the perceptions. Everything is a change, perceptions change. So something we have a extremely joyful pleasure things, and due to good karma, ripening, and when bad karma ripening, all these joyful pleasure things become changed to another. This perception rising is like then burning, suffering. So changed. That's verses 71. No, verses 72. Then those who in the joyous garden played, and another having, God's ram. So it's extremely joyful. And in beauty, growing were served by heaven's minds. So many God is serving to you. And you have many, desire players, happy and sensually, like, extremely joyfully. We'll come to words of trees. So then finish that karma, we're going to take birth again. We'll come to words of trees with sword like leaves. So all the become tree. Leaves are warping. They cut their hands and feet, their ears and nose. So then all this pleasure and the best desire, joy things become changed to another level, and then warping. So cutting wherever you walks become, cutting the body. Underground warping, and then stuck in the like kind of forest. So all the trees leaves are kind of knife sharp and the lasers. So it's cutting is itself. So that kind of become get this the when negative karma rising is a suffering. Earth and nose. So Nagarjuna here sharing is like different kind of harems. Usually they talk about 18 different kind of harems. Then that's just normally, like we can count 18 kind of different harems, but individually we have like many diversity levels experiencing harem sufferings. Then 73. Among the golden lotus and lovely maids, they bath in heaven's gently flowing pores. So in the garden, you have a goddess, you have a beautiful pores and extremely joyous, but into hers own, then they finish their karma, and hers own waters where they plague the scolding caustic river Nonkin Ford. Then it's falling to harems. There has like the harem streaming like river is become like cannot cross because it's like huge, and then no place like kind of cross, no choice due to karma when the karmic wind blowing into there, and then in the water is heat, and so burning, caustic river, non-king ford. So then that's sufferings, like, or the beautiful pores with the goddess falling to in this again, in the harem suffering. Then 74. Karma Loka, God. So another God, one gains such bliss. It's extremely bliss as Burman. Bliss that's free from all desire. But know that after that comes constant pain. So it's reached to this like Burman, bliss, joyful place. There many, you already free from desires. You reach to that level, but again, lose that karma, then as firewood, one feeds, like become bodies of firewood in the harems. Everything slims, and then extremely suffering, interruptedly suffering. So that's called lowest REM suffering. Here has many different levels of suffering. So like it's always a diversity harem. They're mentioned in Nagarjuna. And then these ones, like right now you see human beings who have extremely suffering, or animal who has extremely suffering. So many diversity beings, due to their karmic imprint, they has their perception, their own perception, going through these sufferings. So this is who has this, going through this suffering. These beings used to have lots good things, but then when they finish the karma, falling into this place. So that's the reason right now, what we have to think is like, what we have good things, and always wrapping to good karma, wrapping to right now we have all these good conditions. If we have suffering, something is also wrapping to negative karma is wrapping. And when good karma wrapping, and then use that, create more, practice dharma. And so no exhausting good karma. And the negative karma rising is knowing it is, burning our negative karma. I mean, the suffering, we get suffering, we think it's all my negative karma is burning, exhausting. So more confessing negative karma. Then through that, we're not going to fall into in these realms. So that's we have to learn. And then this the harem, Nagarjuna mentioned many different things here, diversity, like he explains. This all diversity beings has a diversity suffering. It's going through that. And then when we learn this, the main point, Nagarjuna, even you seeking to happiness, like take birth to something you want in the best things in these worldly things we want. But Nagarjuna's mention is that these things not going to benefit us. Reason is a thing. These all the harem beings used to has all these good things, but then when they finish karma and fall into in these realms, harem suffering. So that's the reason. No, the most important is not seeking worldly good things. Important is focus for liberation. If we don't liberate from samsara, even we get the great things within in samsara, gaining things, power or material, whatever we have in the good things in the samsara is going to lost. When they're lost after finishing this karma and going to another hand, more worse suffering. So that's why, the important is Nagarjuna say we need to liberate free from samsara. He's telling, his heart instruction to his friend, all sentient beings. Don't think about samsara, joyful things are important because this is going to not stay too long. It's going to lost. When the loss, and then going to in this kind of extremely suffering hell realms. That's the reason. Don't think the wanting in the good things in the samsara. Is important is try to free from samsara. That's the instruction. His friend, he sent this letter to the king. King has all these good things. So no, Nagarjuna pointing to his, like directly, you don't think I'm king. You have all this, power, good things. And this all is going to lost. And then when the loss, then where you go? If you finish burning all the good karma, and you create a negative karma, go down to these realms. Because all these hell realm beings used to the God's realms, then knows where they are in the hell realm suffering. So he's sharing that like we have to learn this right now. Whatever we have joyful things, and use that, and then looking to liberation is most important. That's Nagarjuna instruction. Then 76. Oh, sorry, 75. One who was reborn as sun or moon, whose body is light, let whole worlds far belong, where they arrive in states of darkest gloom. His outstretched hands will be invisible. So now, can be become in the God's realm, take birth. You have your own light radiate. Your own light radiate can also, make the whole world far below. It's like can very far away. You can like radiate, shining, and see things. Same is like we have a torch using, and many people can, torch can helps like to see dark or the way from the darkness. So you get like that kind of power, like radiating into your body. Then where they arrive in states of darkest gloom. So then take birth to darkest gloom. Another realm, extremely dark. No sun, no moon exist. Then he's all stretched, like you reach your hand, you cannot see your fingertips. Hands will be invisible, so not possible to you see your own body. You can take birth, become you have sun and moon within your body, and you can light up world, means like your all space. But then you take birth to again, they lose their karma, then you reborn in the darkest place, you cannot see your body. So that's the karma. 76. So thus it is you or air that we have to know that, and knowing that, no, I'm, like burning good karma, and I have to create good karma. So that's what we have to think. Air. And knowing this, please search the lamp of merit, triple form. So Nagarjuna began to his friends or beings, create good karma, create accumulation merit. For otherwise, you were plunging and go along in deepest dark, unlit by sun or moon. Go into darkest place and then going to more darker. Going to more, falling to more lower. So that's why Nagarjuna say create accumulation merit. Then 77. For beings who indulge in evil deeds, so who create a negative karma, there is a constant pain. They have constant pain. So, and actually, this is a natural law of karma. We need this because in this world, like some people create so much negative karma. If they don't have this, then they are just always like, how to say, like they're winner or they just got, they never caught. They no make sense, So we have so many like historically many negative beings in this world die. They have to go to a place like this because due to this negative karma evil deeds. Who created the war and who makes so many beings suffering and so many, too much desire and due to that and make others extremely suffering. So many different ways, like our in the human being realm, the unbelievably some people has like create a negative karma, harming for other beings. So the war is we can see easily, like okay, everybody recognize. But another way, we know knowingly many people create harm for many other beings, other beings. So due to the desire intention. So who create war pangs? Example, that due to the desire and the need all these suffering things. Maybe like drug companies, drug companies, or or warping companies. So so many different ways, like due to the desires, they don't thinking about others suffering, and then also like think about the ranches, and they want to say example like cows. So their feet extremely overfeed, extremely makes heavy suffering. Think about the chickens or other animals like how human beings due to desire make them suffering. So uh, so who created this plunging evil deeds? There is a constant pain in this and other hairs. They have hairs. We don't need to torture them. They're naturally happening that. Going to, these rams, reviving here. So therefore, so reviving here is so you die and you alive, you die alive. It's called miracle birth in the harem beings. No need parents there. When you die, cutting the warping is cutting, you die, and the soul is rising in the space like alive, then become alive back again. And so that's all the fear that example you killing many animal beings and you have like this all pay back to in the harem suffering. You cut animals, you cut your body inside in these harems. You killing many human beings. And example in the who create a war, how many people die, all this karma you have to carry that. So that's why or you have die reviving here. And the black line is like naturally, body has like line, black line rising, and then naturally the warpings cut all the directions. So that's called black line. And intense heat. So extremely more intense heat. And the crashing means like two mountains, like warping mountains between in the crashing. So many people kill animals like this way, This is like we does it for the animal human beings and crushing. So no, this happening in the harems, like who does this, making for suffering others. Screaming means like extremely screaming because it's too much pain. Tormented, unsurpassed. So tormented, unsurpassed, all this suffering rising. So how to be liberated from here? And then many, also practitioners get this suffering, but they can liberate in these states too. They visualize, they can recall Yadam deities, all this naturally stopped. All this the suffering, like what is the war pains, or this everything's naturally, or rising the extremely compassion for others, rising is become naturally stopped. So there has a stories, like I don't remember very clearly. Somewhere I know the stories, like someone, actually I think it's a Buddha Shakyamuni's story. He said he kicked mother's head long time ago, like he previous lifetime. And due to that, he take birth into this place. So then he feeling, thinking about all beings suffering, everything. I did this for my mother who created like my same as my karma. I take all others' karma, and he generated compassion for others. Tongling, kind of tongling in this state. And then naturally all these warpings in the space is become flowers. The power of tongling compassion. So so that's why and have a, so if happening there's also have some practitioner has opportunity to use and practice this transform. Only meditation can transform. That's one of Buddha's previous life, his term story shared that way. Then the body is like crushing like this, 78. Some are psychosis and priests like the sashimi, like kind of like, make grand all the body and the war pains in the harems. Others like wise, grown like finished law. So it's, grounding everything. Some are cut and carved as if with the saws. Others hike with excess rather found. Diversity kind of warpings, just, cutting the body, experiencing suffering. Then this harem, exist or not, is like I mentioned many times, up to us. If we created this karma, when die, the person has this harem. If we don't create this karma, this harems not exist there. So then the 79 is others still are forced to swallow drugs. So drugs of burning, mortin, broads, that flares, right? Flares and the sparks. I think people who create many, how to say this, like drugs, I think something drugs, and give people many, like people's like life is destroyed because due to the desire. Drug companies try to attacking people's body, then they don't have a choice. You have to eat again all the time, and or drinking again. They created that curving desire. So then who has their intention? Who does these beings? They're going to get in this suffering in the harems. It's no choice because due to the karma, burning, molten bronze that flares and sparks. Some impaired and threat onto aswar, right? Aswars, barbed, and forcefully blazing stakes of steel. Then, due to this burning mortars bruises into your body, and your body is become going to is melting. Also, then some naturally everything's appear to become trees are here is like okay threat into scare words means like become all the trees change to another life form, okay, matters, and then rising all this barbed and forcefully blazings rising from sticks of stairs, everything's become warping and sticking in the body, so extremely painful and suffering. So that's the 79, 80. Some home savage doors with iron fence were ripped to shreds. Indeed, throw up their hands, and others powerless are picked by crows with sharpening bugs of steel and razor claws, something claws. So all this kind of like diversity animal appear to, and then dogs has like become very sharp fangs, iron fangs, going to eat bug, and birds has this sharp uh, uh, beads of steel, and razor colors. I think so. This, going to hold like take away. So this extremely suffering rising, and then this also people who torture animals, example hog the fish all the time, and think about it like so we make beings suffering this many these ways torture. So then karma happening this again. So then 82 or 81 or 81. Then that's the say draw and birds diversity, cross happening healing. Next one is like more for bugs or kind of like beads. Some there are who roar about and wear devoured by worms and multicolored grubs. 10,000 buzzing fleas and bees that leave great stings and beats unbearable to touch. So all this, like bees come to and bite it. So someone too much chasing honeys, like many bees make suffering. And, the torture, we people, human beings, like make suffering so much diversity beings. And then we slicks, like people who make we have some very expensive cloth. They come from is sometimes like bugs skin. See the millions bugs they're, balling and create the slick, right? Slicks. something, silks like cloth, expensive cloth. So this all is, who does this, who so much create this suffering, then we have this experience rising. Then verses 82. Some in heaps of blazing, red hot coals are burned without a break. Their mouths agape, right? Agape. And some are boiled in cauldrons made of iron, cooked like dumplings, heads turned upside down. Then some, causing down member what's what now. So some is like this. Some beings like it's in the fire blazing, red hot coals. Then are burned without a break, no any break or like some short moment you can resting, like there's no possible, no break times there. The mouth agapes, then it's okay. Mouth is like so much open because too much pain for extremely suffering, and some are bored in a cold iron, mid of iron. So cook like dumplings, see, cooking. So we human beings cook many animals like alive like this way. Heads turn upside down, and then this become this experience rising in the harems. 83. The very instant that they're caused to breathe, the wake test the boundless pangs of here. And he who hearing this is not afraid, a thousandfold is truly demoed hard. So Nagarjuna said, the very instinct that they cease to breathe means like the who create very strong this negative karma. And when they cease the breath, and momently they go to these realms. They don't have pardo. Okay. Pardo, we usually talk about 49 days. No there. And you got cease to breathe means like when you cease the breathe, stop the breathe, and then momently you going into these realms. So that's why who has Mahamudra realization, they don't have a pardo too. When cease the breath, then liberate Dharmakaya. Then which the wake test the boundless pains over here. So it's the harem is like extremely suffering and painful. So Nagarjuna sharing already this harem sufferings different ways. The diversity different hairs he share, but this is very small list actually, because in the diversity beings has diversity perceptions. So many diversity perceptions of suffering. So harem suffering is like in the we recognize actually in the human being we create all these things causes this. When they die, they go to, when see the breath again, go to these realms. But then many beings are suffering in these human realms too. So we can see directly eye, can hear air, you know. Also like animal sufferings, we do much that get experience. We know the human being suffering is more we, visible or like we understanding, but animal suffering is really beyond us. We don't recognize. So 100 people die somewhere, have news kind of, okay? Millions animal die, no news, nothing, we don't knowing. One human being can kill millions animal, insects, bugs, or other beings easily. So, they die. Think about the where there has a hot weather, desert, and no water, how many bugs, beings, no rain there, die, burning, dry up the body, millions countless. Okay, sometimes like too much rain, how many beings flower wash, dry. Okay, sometimes too cold weather, how many beings frozen there, dry. And then in the ocean, these beings like different ways die. So endless suffering there. So that's also like we don't know that much animal suffering, but we just recognize what going on there. And you hearing these things suffering, which Nagarjuna say, and he who hearing this harem suffering, this is not afraid. Somebody never thinks they're not afraid or I'm okay. They're suffering, you don't have any afraid of the harem suffering. Then Nagarjuna said that person's mind is created by Vajra. So say 1,000 is truly damning hard. Your mind is more 1,000 times harder than damning. Reason is because you're hearing all this suffering, animals or harem sufferings, but you don't have any feelings and no effort. So that person is 1,000 times is truly damning harder the damnings. So it's another why we know fear is because due to ignorance, and who has more negative karma, and then they don't fear that much. So then they don't fear this teaching is too important. So who has more spiritual quality and lovings for others is fear this energy and knowing suffering others. So that's the verses 83 and then 84. If simply seeing picture of the hairs and hearing, thinking, reading of them scarce, or making sculpture, figuring, need we say, how hard to bear the wrapping fruit will be. And that reason, in Nagarjuna, what mentioned here, that reason in the monastery, in the main temple, in the door, everybody going into the temple, in the door, the draw all these rams. We have, the one tanka is called 6 ram tanka. And that painting is in the wall, in the front of a temple. And many these harem sufferings. Because you see that, you fear. And Nagarjuna say like, if you just seeing these paintings, harem, or you hearing, right now what we're sharing the teaching, you hearing this teaching, or you're thinking about this harem suffering, or you reading the structure in the teaching books, you reading talk about harem sufferings, or create some sculptures like harem sufferings. So like that kind of anything you happens, you get very strong fear. If you have fear for that, then rare come to us, rare come to suffering. Then that is like the say how hard to bear. The wrapping, like really wrapping through will be then how hard. Even you hearing, seeing, thinking, reading, knowing this harem suffering is how hard to bear. But then really wrapping us through will be is extremely painful. 84, 85, sorry, 85. 85 is of all the forms of happiness, they are the Lord is blessed. The carvings fully spent. So too, of all the misery there is, the pain in torment, unsurpassed is worst. So then, what is the best blessed, joyful? Best blessed joy is when you're free from desires. So that's the Buddha share, okay? Free from carving, desire, okay? Then which is more worse suffering, okay? Which is more happiness place? Is free from desire. Then that bliss is the most happiest, joyful. But then which one is the most suffering is the lowest REM, hair REM. It's all the misery. There is the pain in torment, unsurpassed, like uninterrupted suffering. Torment, unsurpassed is worst. That's the worst suffering place. That is called lowest harem suffering, bottom. And then which ones are the highest happiness is free from desire place. Verses 86. This is example. For one whole day on earth, 300 dads may strike you hard and cause you grievous pain. So in this right now, in our human being, idea really cannot measurement or like add the whole their suffering pain. We really cannot bring that exactly 100% idea. Okay, reason is like Nagarjuna said, in this our human being realm. So the highest suffering is like, one day, example, one day on the earth. So 300 does means may strike you hard and like kind of one whopping, strike you 300 times one day, very strongly. And then that's we think, okay, most painful in this right now in the world, like we can think imaging. So that comparing to in the harems, but that court never illustrate or match. They cannot really comparing to harem. This what Nagarjuna he said he's sharing match a fraction of the smallest pain in here. And harem smallest painful suffering also cannot comparing that. So in this right now in the human being realm, like someone is in the burning in the fire. Okay, yeah, harem is exactly like this, but still that cannot really comparing harem suffering. Harem suffering comparing to that, the burning in the right now in this place, it cannot match. And someone stick you like 300 times warping into your body, but they cannot really match in the harem, smallest suffering. But harems more 1,000 times more than that. Then how long we suffer in the harem this? Okay, 87. The fright for pains and the tormented jaws describe are live and felt throughout the balloon years. Balloon years is many years. So if we cannot stay like 5 minutes, like something like too hot. We cannot stay too cold 5 minutes. But this beings is stuck there is billion years. Until these evil deeds are fully spent, one will not die and she this life in here. It's until exhaust the karma. They're not going to finish it, die in these harems. There can be die, but birth again in there. Same is like we torture like as we know the like we don't see but physically, but we see the movies and torture somebody lose like conscious, then come back again, then they torture again, they lose conscious, then come back again, they torture similar, and the harems like lose the kind of life and come back again. So then who created this evil deeds in this world? And then this person is going to in this kind of realm suffering extremely. Okay. So that's why Bodhisattvas who has clairvoyance, their compassion is rising to who create negative karma. And who has too much desire, power, making suffering others. Their clairvoyant Bodhisattva has compassion, strongly compassion to them. Okay. Not the, our compassion is rising too easily for suffering beings. But who has more wisdom? Their compassion to who has this more create suffering others. Okay, so this beings the going to extremely suffering. This beings object of compassion. So that's why have to knowing that die and okay, they never die until shed this life in here. It's until the exhaust karma never die from that place. That's why they stay in the billion years. And then how long then everyone is like don't know, because some create so much negative karma. And then they stay like billion years in this state. Then 88. The seeds of this, the fruits of evil deeds. So create negative karma, and then this rapiding, this suffering are sinful acts of body, speech, and mind through the hour created by body, speech, and mind. Work hard, therefore, that's why Nagarjuna said we have needed to work very hard, therefore, and master all your skill to never stray a hair's breath into sin. And like never going to happen, even some like slightly small things in this suffering. And that's we have to, Nagarjuna said, do it right now. Never stray a hairs, like even tennis, like hair size, and even momently breathe time into sin in this Ram suffering. We have to, Nagarjuna said, do it in this moment, right now. And then for animals, there is multiple distress. One moment. So then that's the harem explain is already finished there. So now go to in the animal realm suffering. Animal suffering is for animal there is multifold distress. They are slighted, tied up, beating, and the rest for those denied the virtue that brings peace. There is agony as one devours another. So this we know animal, suffering, we tortured by human beings. So then there, for those denied the virtue that bring peace, virtues deeds like, who not do the virtue, who don't have this any like good things knowing, because due to ignorance animals, and why take birth in the reason is they're due to an ignorance, and virtue that brings peace, they don't have any virtuous deeds, good karma, the not good karma, who don't have, for those denied means who don't have good karma virtues that bring you good peace yourself, and then due to ignorance, there is agony as one devours another, means like they eat each other all the time and hunt each other. So animal biggest suffering is eat each other and always hunt each other. Our human beings, generally we say our suffering is birth, old age, sickness, and death. Okay. Animal, the biggest suffering is always eat each other, hunt each other. And so then human beings also sometimes kind of animals, when see each other, hunt each other, fight, die each other. So that is like exactly same as like human beings does, animals does. Animal always like when they see each other, they fight and they die, hunt each other all the time. The other is like mostly human beings create these sufferings and for the animals due to our human being desires. So we slighted them, tied up, beating, and the rest, like so many diverse ways create sufferings due to the different culture. And then human beings make different ways of suffering animals. Some, let them carry so many things. Animals have to like transportation and plow the farms. And some like, then get the food from animals different ways. They're torture. And so anyway, like animals not any freedom, like our human beings, we think we own everything, these animals, then we torture or take their right, create the suffering. So that is the see here is this animal suffering mentioned 89, and then more or 80 90. So more different ways like created. Some of them are cared just for their peers. So peers expensive, then people care that reason. They don't have a choice. They're woo. So sometimes like for reason for woo. Or bones. Some animal bones is so precious or like important, and that's why here their meat, that is a lot. Always we eat meat, reasons of meat or skins. So we use animal skins, and that's why they die. And for then also like some reasons, the blood is important. That's why I care. Some animals lose reason is blood. So many diversity ways they die. All these animals has a different kind of special object with them, and the human being wanting due to desires. So that's why we take the life. So and other helpless. So then many animals like helpless. They don't have a choice. Beasts are forced. So we beats and forced to walk. They have to walk and they have to do lots. The horses have to ride and run, and so many ways suffering. So they are kicked or struck with hands, with the whip and the gods. So all these diversity ways create sufferings. Then this is due to different ways, like farmers or nomads or city people, like different. That like business people, what they need. Then these needed things animal has. And then diversity ways animals suffering. Then go to like think about in the ocean animals, fishings, and fish people. So cooked or the diversity fish, and then where they goes in the restaurant, then who eat up them is human beings. So when we eat up them, then no talk thinking about their suffering, just we talk about the delicious or not taste. Okay, so that's the human being who's our ignorant. When we eat the animal's body, so we don't talk about how delicious or not delicious. I think best is where it's just knowing their suffering, the dedicating cham mana mantra and Vajrasattva mantra and eat. Better just you want to buy good meat is buy, but when you eat, don't talk about delicious or not. I think dedicating is more important, knowing their suffering. And then Nagarjuna said, when we eat food, it's like no attach. Think about it, it's my medicine, and survive like body and medicine to eat. No attach, anger, no to these things. Like when you don't get good food, the meat is not delicious, you angry, and the meat is too delicious, you attach to that, that's create more karma. And when we eat like through compassion with mantra and wisely eat, I think less karma. So that's the important, our case. Then that's animal suffering. So now we know animal suffering. Nagarjuna, what he mentioned about animal suffering here is this true. So that's why Harem suffering, what he mentioned, is true because he know Nagarjuna is the noble being. Buddha Shakyamuni, he said, I rely on Nagarjuna. Buddha Shakyamuni said, Nagarjuna has realized emptiness, first for me, realization. So then who has first for me realization? They know the truth. So that's why Buddha Shakyamuni also rely on Nagarjuna. He said, like, when I pass after 400 years, the person name is Nagarjuna. So Nagarjuna has many different names, like another way to Buddha Shakyamuni prophesies. So then is the person come. Buddha said he has realized first for me. That's why he know the emptiness, truth, absolute truth. What he share all the teaching is truth. So he said everyone can rely on him. His teaching is true. So then after also the Chandakirti and Shanti, they were all rely on, they say I rely on Nagarjuna, his teaching. The reason is Buddha prophesies, Buddha rely on him, and Buddha say he has realized emptiness. And then that's the reason Chandakirti or the Shanti Deva, other like this, all the philosopher teachers followed by Nagarjuna teaching. They say Nagarjuna, what he says, true. So then we also hear Adiya is okay. What Nagarjuna mentioned about animal realm suffering is true. So that's why, we know animal suffering. And then Nagarjuna knows her realm suffering. He can explain correctly. We can rely on Nagarjuna. Then now he's going to explain here is hungry ghost. This hungry ghost also going to exactly true because Nagarjuna knows what going on other ram and the hungry ghost ram suffering. 91. For threats means hungry ghosts. Two, there is not the slightest break in suffering from their unfulfilled desires. Then due to this hungry ghosts, due to desire, then even momently they don't have joy and peace for anything. Slightly break, they don't have happy. The suffering is from their unfulfilled desire. So what desire misery there must endure? Which kind of desire the suffering? Okay, from hunger. So this desire suffering is hunger, thirsty, cold, heat. Cold heat is not exactly same as like harem suffering, but there also this hungry ghost lots of suffering due to cold and heat. Then fright tigu is like always fear. Fright tigu and fear, all the time frightening. And fears. So who created this suffering? Because here says unfulfilled desire create. Never satisfy. And always create like desires, taking others' opportunity, okay? Everything. And too much curving, desire. Billions dollar you have, but still desire, and you very poor, feeling very poor, and no sharing, no giving, no generosity. So still wanting others all the time. So that's created this suffering. Then this beings, which kind of happen? Hungry gods means. Hungry gods beings is also diversity beings, diversity, man, different ways like they're suffering. But some, is Nagarjuna say, some they're, like mentioned like imagery, like body. Mouth like needles. Mouth is needle, has a very tiny hole. Because your string is go in the needle, very tiny hole, very tiny needle has a very tiny hole. So that kind mouth is too small, like needle's eyes, okay? Needle has like whole eyes, very tiny. So same, the hungry god's mouth is too small. Their bellies, huge. The belly is too big, huge, as mountains. Too huge, belly is too huge. The more bigger than, like some picnic woman is like ready to take birth, baby. Like many more bigger than that. Huge, okay? Mountains. So that's why I need so much food in there. Because there's all the desire appearance rising on the form. The hungry ghost is like form body of too much desire form body. Enlightened beings, like say, the form body is wisdom, form body is compassion, form body is generosity, form body is good conduct, form body is meditation, samadhi. But then, another hand, the sixth realm is form body is emotions. So, then H from want of food. So that's why salt food, the stomach, and wanting always food. Then food cannot eat because mouth is too small. Okay. Food cannot go into the stomach. Reason is that our mouth is too small. They do not even have the strength to eat. Discarded scraps. They don't have ability to eat anything. Even cannot eat like this is, like it's dirty. Mentioned this, discard scraps like this cannot go into the body. That's why, some practitioners even throw something like what is like we usually come out something come out from your spray, or it's stuck in some things like in your throat sometimes, and then you can get out. No fruit is food. It's like just when you wake up morning, sometimes like you say and it's stuck something in the flames something. Okay. And when you throw out the flames, some good practitioners do dedicating, and hungry gods can receive. Otherwise, hungry gods no opportunity to eat even this what is called flames also. It's when you out of flames for your body, okay, you can dedicate in generosity to hungry gods too. That is another way to generosity, fear for them. Even receive that there is for them is the important food for them because it's a hungry gods. The smallest bits of fat, even they don't have this very small tiny, discarded like things like food also they cannot get. It cannot go inside the body. So then how to they can receive? So that's why we do, white soul offering, burning, dedicating. They can fear. And then also you throw something, your leftovers and flames out of your body. Chant mantra, Om Mani Padme Hum, or dedicating, thinking about their suffering they receive. So that's where they can, take care and receive benefit to them. Otherwise, even they receive something, then it's poison. If you think, you give like delicious food to them, but when they receive it's poison or it's fire flames. Because change everything. If you giving water to them, water is become, they don't see the water, hungry ghosts. They see it's like dried ash and fire flames, because it's a perception. They can hear the waterfalls. They go there, is all water is become dried. They cannot see the ocean. Ocean is like stains, because of karma. Then some their neck, bodies, skin and bone. Neck, body, skin and bone, because of no food, are like the dry out top of tree or trees. So this tree is example, like dry up. And many people suffering like this too, right now, in war and another like poverty, many suffering. And some have mouths that beach forth, fire by night. So then some has like fire is rising from the mouth into their burning mouth, send fires as food. So all food is become saints. It's become transformed to this is fire burning. So then that's the reason, due to karma, they cannot see the food. This is like Nagarjuna sharing diversity. Hungry gods has a diversity ways of suffering. Not the same one hungry ghost there. Different kind of hungry ghost. And so that's what we have to know. In this, like last what I mentioned, is also one of the Buddha Shakyamuni disciple, Mogarpa, he see his mother is take birth hungry ghost. When he see that his mother is like, her mouth is open, it's all is like blotch for the fire is coming from her mouth. And then, so it's extremely, suffering. So there's a suffering antidotes, I mean, the like purification. Then Mogarpo, he asked Buddha Shakyamuni. Buddha Shakyamuni, so, share to him, like, we can do some, dedicating for your mother. And what he told him, you can dedicate your all good virtuous deeds you done. And Buddha Shakyamuni told him, we can also need like power of Sangha. So all the Sangha gathering together, do dedication. Then share, dedicating. So this is another, important is like, you can do like offering food to the summer retreat. So that's why we created this summer retreat Sharavasti, project. Is that's another reason. And who offering to that, like the power of that Sangha and dedicating, and has, good for karma. I mean, the like power of that dedication to have released the karma and benefit others. So that's the Buddha Shakyamuni shared to his student and do that, and he did, and he liberated his mother's suffering, and many hungry gods suffering. So this hungry gods has into the burning mouth, sand, fires as food. So then a few unlucky ones don't even find some dirt to eat. To see this pause, excrement. So another hungry ghost tip. Another hungry ghost has this suffering. That cannot find even these things. See, to eat a pause, excrement, and that's why we something out of from body we dedicating, that can receive, or blood. They can't, otherwise they can't eat. They can't receive. They don't have opportunity. See, unluckily, ones don't even find some dirt to eat, pause, excrement, or blood. So they hit each other in the face and eat. Then they, hit each other. They're fighting each other. They make, like, how to say, like scratch others' body, or like make the sore, right? Sore, and then there comes blood out, or there comes like this pulse out. Then they're seeking each other, sucking this pulse each other. It the face and eat pulse that fastest from their swollen necks. They come from something from their create their body, because they hit each other, and then create this something from the bodies that they're going to eat each other, like. So that's things like some hungry gods has this. Also karma, people like eat each other many different ways, and taking each other. So that's karma happening. Hungry gods are suffering. Then 95, yeah. So then hungry gods has this diversity karma. For hungry gods, the summer moon's too hot. Summer is actually okay, hot, right? The hot time, our human being generally okay. Moon means water. It's cold, heat, cold. But hungry gods, summer, they need cool down, but moon is hard for them too, because karma is cold things also become hot. more also hot. In winter time, the sun is far too cold. See, in the winter we have frozen time, fire sun helps, heat up. But for them, sun also cold winter time. Then whatever they use, like happen other way. If you use heat in the summer, it's become cold. I mean, like winter time you use heat, it's become cold. And summertime too hot, you use air conditioner. Example, it's become heat. So that's why all the perception is good things change to become bad way. Then fun trees in orchards wort and lose their fruit. So usually we have the trees like has leaf and fruit, but when this hungry goes to see, it's dried, nothing there. And simply from their gaze, so they're looking to that object, then become is great streams run dry. So water is there, but when the hungry gods look to in the eye and dried. And tree has fruit, but hungry gods look to the trees momentarily gone. So it's perception. So I think we leave here today. So finish. We finish 95. Please make the mark. Okay, next week we continue this. Cannot finish it. I'm thinking about we're going to finish it this week, but not possible. Next week is possible. And still another week. Don't think about this, okay? Some people think, oh, I need like Mahamudra or something, but this is most important. And then your realization Mahamudra is become successful, you knowing these things. And then we need to practice Mahamudra. If we not knowing this, then still stuck in samsara. Another hand, we practice Mahamudra Dzogchen, but another hand, we desires fixation into samsara. So that's why we have to know this hungry gods, animals, harem, suffering beings. Then we really want to freedom from these realms and reach to enlightenment. So that's the reason Nagarjuna, he's sharing everything here. He letter to his friend has everything. Every solution he share in there already, sharing. And emptiness teaching is here, Mahamudra is here, okay. Yadam deity is here, and every teaching is here, solutions, practice. So now we go to daily prayer. Daily prayer starting, please, from Susan. Can you do the Buddha Shakyamuni opening prayer in the Buddha Shakyamuni? Debbie, can you please unmute?
Yes, it's clicked.
I don't have it right now. I'll do one later, okay, Khenpo?
Yes, then later, okay. So